reaction been around the league in the last few days and just to his journey in general?
Well, people are just so supportive and impressed that he is being able to come out and speak about this, because he does take blame. While he had some traumatic events happen in his life, he basically, as you saw there, he said, I made some mistakes. The thing about Lamar was, even from his days at Rhode Island, throughout his whole career, people always said, Scotty, he's not taking advantage of all of his talent. Because there were moments, especially when he was with the Lakers, where he was one of the best players in the league. He fit that team beautifully. And so people, the way his career ended, where he wasn't able to take advantage of his talent, kind of mirrored the way his career went. But then the other thing that people would always say, as much as they would criticize him for maybe leaving something on the table, was how likable he was. I'm not surprised his teammates made the pilgrimage to see him. Everybody liked this guy. Yeah. For a guy who had problems, he never was a bad teammate. And I think that's one of the things that you take away as his legacy.
Wow. It's amazing. I loved Lamar. He was one of those players that, I think he really looked up to me as a player. If you look at our game, we played the same, both willing passers, guys like to play at the top of the floor. But most amazing thing about Lamar is, like you say, he's a very warm person. He's kind, and, you just makes your heart stop to think about some of the stuff that this kid had to go through, and, to see his career have to end, like that. I wish he was still in the game. He's one of those guys that I enjoyed watching. I enjoyed the way that he played the game. He played it the right way, and as you said, all his teammates very supportive of him. That just go to show you just
I couldn't be in a room without feeling like he lit it up. He has that personality. And it's interesting, certainly in no way all athletes aren't tempted down this road, because we see athlete after athlete who doesn't get there or go in that direction and makes responsible choices. But if you are someone who is tempted, if you have vices already, if you have temptations already, how does being a professional athlete just open up that world for you and make it all just a little bit too easy?
It's tough, because it does, because you're exposed to everything now. You got the money, you got the fame, and it just makes life very difficult. And especially a guy like Lamar, who was sort of not really guided in this area, but he was sort of born kind of to mess up down the road through this. So it's tough, but it's great to see that he's recovering from it and he's willing to accept all the responsibilities.
One of the things in the piece, he talked about how his father struggled with drugs, and how he promised himself that he wouldn't allow it to happen, and then it just happened.
And that he didn't even start with cocaine till he was 24.
I know.
And his mom died when he was 12, and he didn't really have that guidance. You see, I like that he laid out bare and was so honest with what was going on with him, because it brings compassion, and there's a lot of people in his situation.
He was ahead of his time, too. Beyond his struggles, he was a versatile big man who could shoot. Didn't really shoot to a three-point line, but nowadays, those players are on every team. In a way, he helped transform the game. He was so effective with the Lakers playing that versatile forward role, and also the fact the way he just distributed the ball and passed the ball. A lot of ways he was a transformative player in the league, even though he didn't have the career that maybe he could have.
Well, he was, and I say he was a lot like me, but Lamar was more the power forward point guard, and that really gave him such an advantage in terms of when he went to the Lakers, because you really couldn't find a matchup for him.